Sideburns. Sideburns.
Yo, what's the word? 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 Just talking how you talking. Bosses language bosses before you step in the office. What's the word? 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 Just talking how you talking. Bosses language bosses before you step in the office. What's the word? What's the word? Oh, I have something to say. Have some words dropping to your light. Hurry, underlay, spill that tea. What you waiting for? We just want the word. Don't tell us nothing crazy that's gonna get up on our nerves. Just chill, relax, live in the moment while we put it on wax. We live on Anchor every Wednesday of the week. So tell your family and friends where you be. Yo, what's the word? 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 Just talking how you talking. Bosses language bosses before you step in the office. What's the word? 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 Just talking how you talking. Bosses language bosses before you step in the office. What's the word? What's the word? What's the word?
This your girl, Kiss Calhoun, you hear me? And we're back for another episode of What's the Word? You already know what time it is, episode 35, with the legendary host, the one, the who, the what, the where, Mr. D.Jon.
What is up, my good people? It's your boy, D.Jon, of course. And you are now tuned in to episode 35 of What's the Word? Let's get it.
Let's get it out. Okay, so people, let's talk. Truth hurts and people hurt people. Let's talk about hurt people hurting people. And why do we believe that hurt people cause problems in their next relationships? Of course, we're going to give y'all a scenario about a relationship synopsis, and we are going to talk about it. Of course, we got Messy Tea from the Messy Shade, as usual, and BSimone is back in the headlines again, sister girl. You stay getting in the headlines, and people always coming for this girl all the time. But we're going to talk about BSimone says her man can't work a 9-to-5 job. He can't be a hustling. He could be a hustling entrepreneur. Of course, we're going to talk about 2 former Atlanta police officers suing Mayor Keisha Lansbottom after being fired from that whole pulling them children out that damn car. And of course, Billy Porter compares the black community's relationship with the LGBT community as to white supremacy. And of course, Snoop Dogg says for the first time in his life he about to vote, and it's just shocking that he ain't never vote, but he's saying that. And of course, Lil Wayne is under fire. For him, he speaks out about the murder of George Floyd and urging people not to blame all police. And of course, NFL commissioner admits that they were wrong for not letting players earlier encourage them to protest. So now they get it. Well, without further ado, let's get into it. So, D.Jon, why do you believe that people hurt people? Why do you believe that hurt people cause problems in their relationships, like their next relationships?
I think what it is, I think that they hold on to, the hurt that they have from their last relationship. And it kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say that, they're doing it out of spite. I honestly think, that they take on, so much with moving into relationships, when they really think that they're ready, and 9 times out of 10 they're not. They're still hurt.
Right.
So I feel like the reason why it is carried on into the new relationship is due to the fact that they're not necessarily taking their time when they get into these new relationships.
Definitely.
You see people like they just got out of a relationship Tuesday, and then they're in another relationship
all in somebody else's ass the
Friday,
next
right?
day.
So it's like you don't take your time, and healing takes more than weeks and months. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It may take years, to fully get over and fully to move on. So that's what I believe. Why people, bring hurt into new relationships.
Definitely, the baggage definitely weighs on the person. If you don't, at least after you done got out of her relationship, you done found your inner peace and all that stuff. Don't go to another relationship. And I feel like a lot of people be bitter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Bitterness plays a part in a lot of people failing in the next relationship because they are preferring the next person to be better than the person that they end up with. It's 9 times out of 10, those people end up with the same people that they left in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Because they get into their own perception and what they wanted and what they visualize a relationship should be. But I think that's definitely why, like, hurt people in this. So I got a little scenario. So say you're in a relationship with a man, say if you're in a relationship, man or woman, no matter, and your spouse hated their ex and either never spent time with their child or wouldn't allow, in a sense, if it's vice versa, wouldn't allow the child to see the other parent. As the opposite person, what is one way to bring common ground, or you don't get involved? So what's your take on that, D.Jon? Say you're in a relationship.
Mm-hmm. Right, because I had to look at this again.
Okay, say if you're,
mm-hmm.
and your spouse have a child,
mm-hmm.
and the person who you getting with has a child, who you got with has a child, and that child, either that person don't see their child, like they don't care to see their child, or the parent of that other child is stopping that child
mm-hmm.
from seeing that parent. What can you do as the opposite person
mm-hmm.
out to bring common ground, or do you not get involved?
The person that's in a relationship with the person that's having the issues with the parent for the child.
Yes.
I honestly think I would stay out of that. That has nothing to do with me per se, due to that not being my biological child. And then if it's just like someone I just started like dating, I wouldn't want to put my 2 cents into something that has nothing to do with me. But, speaking on, people holding hurt, against that, and they basically put their children in the middle of it. I hate when people do that.
I hate that.
What is the issue? The child has nothing to do with what you and that person went on. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's just very malicious when you keep a child away from their dad, and we see that in most cases that a dad is kept away from their child
and vice
due
versa.
to him having issues with the mother of his child. So it's crazy. Like, stop holding these men away from their children, and then you have an issue when things don't go right, or they don't necessarily, they have like trust issues or whatnot because maybe they didn't have their parent in their life. Stop doing that, because you're only hurting the child in the end, not the dad. He's not hurting.
But
he may hurt, but he's not hurting. Or in the case of a opposite, same scenario.
But
the child is hurting more.
What if that person came to you and was like, man, what can I do to kind of get this person to, like, at least see some common ground? What kind of way can I get this?
Well, see, in that instance, then I would give my 401k if that person comes to me and
she can come for the holidays, but she cannot cook the potato salad. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, if they ask my opinion, I'll give my opinion, but I'm just not gonna offer an opinion if they didn't ask.
Right, definitely.
Because I would feel out of place.
Definitely not if you haven't experienced that. If you didn't have your own child, you wouldn't try to intervene yourself into
because
that.
I don't know.
But how I feel like, even in this instance where that person just have a child and don't even spend time with the child, if he don't spend time with a child and I'm thinking about getting a relationship with him, why what he would do with my child and say if we go on bad terms. He might leave me in the dust. Now I'm a single mother.
I think you have to look at all of that.
Everything.
Make sure when you get into these type of situations with men or women that have children with other people, make sure you watch. You gotta watch.
You gotta watch.
Because guess what? What they doing to that person 9 times out of 10, if the tables turn, they're gonna do it to you. So definitely. I hate sticky situations like that. I just hate like when people
because
just
you
bring.
I want to help, but like it's not my child. Then the child be like, "You're not my dad," and they be like, "Bitch, I'll punch you in your chest." Because
that's when I would like, you know what? We can't do this no more.
I'm
going home
because I do too much. You know the last time you had that Christmas money. And I gave it to you, LaRon. I gave it to you. And then I let you say that I gave it to you. I let you say that you had it. But bitch, no more, because that little boy is evil. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it is. That's how it is up. But
I just hate the fact when you bring hurt into new relationships, and it doesn't necessarily have to be
a physical
thing. It could just be you just not trusting that person, and then you try to get into a situation. Like, for me, I would say, you know, try thinking that I want to get into something new, and then it's like when you finally pursue it and he's like, damn, like I don't want that. So now I have to basically break this person hard because you know, I thought I was ready for this, but I'm not ready for it. Like it's you be mentally thinking you be mentally thinking that, you know, you're prepared for this stuff, but you know, when you get into it, it's like, I'm not ready for this. So it's just, it's crazy. It's really crazy.
But we're gonna come back to this and talk more about it because I want to talk more into like hurting people on a general aspect. Even like right now in this current climate where we got all of this stuff going on after George Floyd's death, his funeral being like a homeboy went out like Aretha. Okay, he went out like Aretha with a little Whitney because they put him on. The pallbearers did the shoulder thing like Whitney and shit, and he was on a casket like Whitney. So we're gonna come back, but we got a featured artist, you guys. I told y'all this is a countdown for the season finale of What's the Word, and we got to give y'all that East Side vibe. You know, we ain't been giving y'all that East Side shit. You know what I'm saying? So this one is for the females of the East Side. Shout out to the East Side, you hear me? Shout out to East Side Babe from my city. This joint is fire. Go check that out and follow her at East Side Babe on her social sites. And vibe with us on this Rest the Word Wednesday. You hear me?
Huh? Okay, on the beat. East Side shit. Whoa, run. Check me out. To my city where the good die young. And if you live by a gun, you gon' die by a gun. Where your friends and your enemies turn into one. When you live by the gun, you gon' die by the gun, yeah. Coming to my city where the good die young. When you live by the gun, you gon' die by a gun. Yeah. Your friends and your enemies turn into one. When you live by the gun, you gon' die by a gun. I grew up the tough way, motherfucker, I'm from New Orleans.
my city. Shout out for the East Side. You hear me? That one, East Side Bay. I fly for that song.
I like that
one. That
was
definitely.
dope.
That definitely was a nice joint right there. Go vibe to that. It's on iTunes. Go check that out. I like that shit. East Side, stand up. You hear me? But before we took a break, we were talking about hurt people hurting people and how people bring baggage into relationships and how that ain't cool. You should fix that shit before you get into, because what I've also seen, people getting, like, even with the whole child scenario, we go back to that. People who don't have children get in relationship with these people that have baggage with their ex-spouses and whatnot, right? And then they expect that person to be the step-up person for them. And that ain't cool either, because sometimes, you know, some people don't know how to handle that shit. I'm gonna just be real. Some people don't know how to handle the drama, and baby, I'm telling you, I don't.
Yeah, I know for me, I could not deal with
Baby mama
drama like that. That's too much for me.
We'll call them people on you. And we ain't even supposed to be calling the people. But I will be calling the people on you, Keisha. Get out my front lawn, girl.
I just don't see how people have energy like that to just be fighting like that all the time and doing this and that and fighting at the child party and cutting up at the school. Like, cause he was supposed to get it. He got the child, but then you want to act stupid because he acting stupid with you. So now you want to go try to get the child.
One time I did a party
and they having a whole fight at the school. One
time I did a party and the dad at that party clicked clean out and turned the power off, and I didn't know if he was mad that the girls were shaking to bounce music or he was just mad in general. But I remember you telling me about that. I was like, Lord, like I was like, wow, this shit. And they not together, but he was there. But still, it was like he showed his ass today because everybody was there, and it was like. You could have calmed down. You could have handled it. We could have told the DJ to turn it down. You just turned the DJ shit off. The DJ shit don't even know why his shit cut off. You could have damaged his equipment and shit. But they just have those people that are vindictive and like to use their children and put them in the middle.
Yeah.
No child should ever be placed in the middle of a situation.
That is so embarrassing for a child, especially when they get older and it's like they understand it and they see it going on. Like, it's second nature to them, but they still embarrassed.
Why you ain't come see me? That's why you have a lot of hurt people right now from that scenario alone. People are born through that scenario alone.
It goes way deeper, than just being hurt in a relationship.
Right. They grew up in that kind of environment. So what if that is not? That's their only representation of what they know what to love, because they don't actually. And some people, my mama had a conversation with my auntie, and my auntie, man, she done been through some stuff. Her husband was very abusive and stuff, but she was like, she talked to somebody and she said, your husband he really loved you, but he just didn't know how to love you. And that was the realest shit. And she said that, and she understood it, like when the person said it, because her husband then had been through the traumas that he put her through, because his parents were beating on him and shit. So that's all he knew. That's just like the Chris Brown situation. When we talk about the Chris Brown and the Rihanna situation, we want to use a celebrity example. When that shit happened and he hit that girl and beat that girl ass and shit, we made him feel bad about it. And yeah, he should feel bad. But nobody sat down and tried to get him to sit down and let's sit down and let's talk in this let's talk moment. You know what I'm saying? And let's hear your side. Like, they heard his side way after they let Rihanna do her Connie Chung interview with Oprah, and she cried and shit. But they never gave Chris the opportunity to kind of feel what he feel and hear what. Granted, it shouldn't have got that far, but people hurt people. He came from an environment of seeing that done, so he thought that this person wouldn't play the people on him. But she's an island girl, she played the people. And, well, she ain't had to play the people. She saw the fucking bruises, bitch. The people came to her, bitch. Rihanna like a little light skinned version of they people. She ain't the rich, dark, black. So if she would have been black, it probably wouldn't have showed as much. But still, like that in a sense, like nobody gave Chris the opportunity then when it was fresh to talk about like a learning experience and sitting down like, it's my childhood traumas. Granted, that shouldn't be a reason for you to be that monstrous, but somebody should definitely hear what your childhood story was like for you to see, that's why he fucked up. That's why he fucked up in a sense, you know what I'm saying? But
right, it spirals, deep. So I just feel like people just need to really sit back and analyze themselves, really find out who they are, really love themselves before they, move on into different relationships, and giving your time to heal, learning from, the mistakes, that were made in the relationship, and I don't really think it's mistakes, but learning, lessons. Learning experiences.
You go through things in life to go through them to learn from them.
Right.
Not to dwell on the pain and he hurt me, I had a baby, but because at the end of the day,
or blame yourself for things that you've done in a relationship. Right. You can't change it. The only thing you can do,
accept it,
you move on,
work better at being a better person.
You move on.
But we could go on and on about this topic, but we got the messy tea from the messy shade. And BSimone says, speaking of relationships,
right.
BSimone says her man can't work a 9-to-5 job, but he can be a hustling entrepreneur. So D.Jon, tell us what the messy shade then touched down with us.
I don't know how I feel about this, but this is coming from the
messy shade. You and me.
BSimone got her money up, and now she's looking for a man with the same type of bag. In an interview with Nick Cannon, BSimone she talks about the type of boyfriend she wants, and she makes it clear that he cannot work a 9-to-5 job. Instead, she says she wants a man who makes his own bag on his own time. He can't have a 9-to-5, she says. I mean, he can't be a hustling entrepreneur. He can't be clocking out and clocking in. Despite Nick's surprised reaction, BSimone continues to elaborate, explaining that she thinks entrepreneurs should date other entrepreneurs. I think entrepreneurs should date entrepreneurs, she said. Nick suggested that there are men who make great money with vocational jobs, and this is true. But she is just not convinced. I'm sure, but you're not going to understand my lifestyle. You're not going to understand why I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning. What are your thoughts, Kiss Calhoun, on BSimone's comments? Should entrepreneurs date entrepreneurs, or is 9-to-5 money just as good?
Well, for me, I get what she was coming at it in a sense, but it's not, for me, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And when you say it,
comes off cocky.
It come off cocky like, bitch, I done made these millions, so I don't necessarily want a nigga that work at Popeyes or Chick-fil-A. Bitch, I fucking fuck with a nigga that work at Chick-fil-A, cause bitch, they don't be open on Sundays, so at least my nigga could make me some waffle fries and chicken nuggets, bitch. But I feel like we have to stop putting that into a classist. That's a classist situation, and granted, I get it. She wants a nigga that understand her
hustle.
Her hustle, an entrepreneur is a job. It is a 24-hour job. Especially when you didn't quit your 9-to-5 job to give your whole time to it. I feel like what she was saying is she can't date somebody in a 9-to-5 bracket because they wouldn't understand all of the time she has to dedicate to her work and her job. But if she gets to someone that is equally an entrepreneur, I don't think she meant it in a she probably did mean it in a finances way, but it was more towards like, I prefer a man that understands that quality of time.
That understands her hustle, her time.
Because granted, how many times Monica done made an album about her and dating all these rappers? And she knows she should have known better.
Right.
What make you think? Okay, Monica. But still, like, that's an example of what she, mean, what you tolerate.
Right.
Some people say they like light-skinned people. Some people say they like dark-skinned people. Some people like fat. Some people like small, skinny, tall, Asian, whatever. But she is entitled to say that she wants someone in that class. You can't knock a person for saying that's what they want in that class. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think, just like you said, you don't believe it was coming from a bad place. But I'm going to really have to agree with Nick. I honestly think people, with 9 to 5s, they can understand just as well as people that are entrepreneurs. Not all, let me correct her, not all 9 to 5 people clock in.
Right.
We have salary workers that work a 9 to 5.
Of course.
So they don't have to clock in on the clock. They can
He could work on an oil rig, bitch. They make money. Well, they make money.
They might have a set time, but they could walk in that bitch when they want, and they go walk out that bitch when they want.
Right. Ain't
So
nothing wrong
my
with that.
thing is, I understand her mindset, but I feel like she could benefit, from somebody that is opposite of what she is. Because sometimes when you have the same person,
it becomes a balance.
it doesn't work. It
works too well.
It works
and what
right.
I
It
was
works
saying,
too well. And then in some issues, you have issues when you and that person are
so
just
that's
alike.
what I was saying.
Yeah, I would rather have a balance, between, like, say I'm a social worker. I would want to date somebody that's opposite of me, that maybe is a nurse or, somebody that works in project management or something like that. I would rather be with somebody opposite to where our schedules will be right. It'll be a balance, right?
But like I was saying in the conversation that I was having with my homegirl, we were talking, and I basically
what she said.
I was saying that people that do work 9 to 5s kind of can't understand where she coming from. You know what I'm saying? Because
because we don't work all day.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but set time.
Her times might be but I also said that she's saying she wants somebody equal to her. If you equal entrepreneur, that means that person might have the same much of time invested in them, and so the only time you probably see them is when it's time to lay your head down or have sex or something. You'll have to maneuver around your scheduling because look at Jay-Z and Beyonce. We don't never see them on trips. Cause they always got them.
They go on their trip.
I know they go on their trip, but rarely do we get to see that life because they always doing work. You know what I'm saying? But that's one relationship that could work in that. But just to blatantly say, like, bitch, you gotta work.
Maybe if she would have used her words carefully.
That's what I said. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Equal. I would have said somebody that understands my mind. You know what I'm saying? That understands the grind, what I'm going through.
And that's where the whole conversation with light skinned Keisha come from on Instagram. She was talking with light skinned Keisha, and she was like, "You really want somebody that understand your vibe? Fuck a 9 to 5. Fuck if that person work trash can, bus driver. That might be the one." That can understand you the most, you know what I'm saying?
That's why I always say, like, I don't, now that I'm in a career and whatnot, that's why I've always stayed humble. I don't expect to date someone that's in a set career. My thing is, as long as they are working, they are doing a betterment for themselves, then I'm fine. Right. I'm fine with that. I don't want to be with somebody that's not working. I want to be with somebody that is working, that has a job, a stable job, and is able to provide and is independent for themselves. I always tell people that I don't want to be with somebody that has to depend on me, because if you have to depend on me, we don't need to be together. I'm not that type of person. No, I need to be with somebody that's just as independent as me.
And I think she will find someone. And
I hope she do.
It probably be a 9 to 5.
Right. She'll never know until she takes that chance.
Right.
Because they might be the love of her life. Right. Somebody that has a damn 9 to 5.
And you ain't got to worry about it.
They got to clock in and out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Low key with it.
So you got to.
You get an entrepreneur, everybody know an entrepreneur. Then you got to worry about the hoes.
Be careful what you ask for. I'm glad you said that. Be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. And when you get it, it might not be what you
expected it to be. So that was a little bit of word of advice. Okay, BSimone?
I still love you, though, sis.
And we ain't had to read her like everybody else.
Oh, no.
Because they've been dragging.
Because it's not anything to really drag her about, because like I said, I don't necessarily think it came out of a bad place. She
Homegirls
just like y'all said, y'all can't mess with somebody that got a small piña.
Right.
It gotta be 9 or bigger.
Right.
What's wrong with that girl wanting an entrepreneur? It's the same thing.
But 2 former Atlanta police officers sue Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom after being fired for the whole dragging of the college students out of the car, which I don't know how you gonna sue somebody from stuff everybody saw on camera. But take it away, D.Jon.
Okay. So, it's been a little over a week since 6 former Atlanta police officers were required to turn themselves in for their use of excessive force on 2 local college students, and now 2 of them are deciding to fight back. It's being reported that 2 of the Atlanta police officers who were recently fired have officially filed a lawsuit against Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. I hate her name. I so hate her name. I hate saying her name.
Well, shout out to the black
mayor though.
Keisha Lance Bottoms.
And like our mayor name any better, Latoya Cantrell.
All right.
So, as CBS 46 reports, former Atlanta police officers Ivory Streeter and Mark Gardner have filed a lawsuit against both Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms and Police Chief Erica Shields, 2 African-American women.
They coming.
The lawsuit was filed on June 8th and partially states the reasoning as stemming from a defect of legal justice would ensure from a failure to perform or from improper performance of official duties. Elsewhere in the lawsuit, both former officers claimed they were involved in a use of force incident that arose within the scope and course of their duties, and that petitioners have rights to procedural due, and I probably messed that up, process prior to and following, that's okay, in a disciplinary act to the charter, the ordinance, and police of the city of Atlanta. Ivory Streeter was on the Atlanta police force for 16 years, while Mark Gardner was on there for 22 years before they both were terminated for the alleged use of excessive force when using a stun gun on Misha Young, 22, from Morehouse, and Tunein Pilgrim, I'm sorry if I said your first name incorrect, 20, from Spelman, and forcibly pulling them from their vehicle. The 2 were in the car after the 8 p.m. Atlanta curfew on May 30th that was captured by multiple news outlets, which are locally. As we previously reported, both men were fired by Mayor Bottoms the following day of May 31st, and she acted at the time that after review of that footage, Chief Erica Shields and I have made the determination that 2 of the officers involved in the incident last night will be terminated immediately.
So, with that being said, I don't know how y'all think y'all gonna get a lawsuit out of that. Do you know we can see you? We saw y'all. How y'all gonna shoot the fact that y'all got fired? I mean, you did what you did. You paid the price.
Right.
You know, just be thankful that we ain't asking for more than just that. You know what I'm saying? Because what if you start getting sued for the shit you did? Because I heard they injured that boy arm and shit. Girl, and them children gonna be scarred for life.
Yes, the way they pulled them out of that car, the way they pulled that girl out of that car was just ridiculous in itself. They pulled on her like she was a man.
Rag doll. A fucking rag doll, how they pulled her out there.
Like, really?
Then they showed the body cam footage when they broke his side of the car and pulled him out. They tased that boy, everything.
Tased that boy.
All over for a curfew. Y'all could have simply been like, come on, pull over.
But y'all didn't pull a car over that was in front of them.
Right. The car before them just sped by. You know what I'm saying? They just, some things that they use it. I've been talking about propaganda, and we talked about this way back in the day.
RVS days.
When we was talking about this, and propaganda is lit.
We had a whole
right now.
2-part series of propaganda.
We about to have a fucking 3-part coming soon, bitch. On our Juneteenth, bitch. You about to have a special episode for y'all with the propaganda part 2. I mean part 3.
Part 3.
But speaking of that,
I think girl. Just a mess. But kudos to Mayor Keisha Lance
Right.
Bottom and the police chief that, acted on this immediately.
and not waited months.
That's
after.
what you do. That's what you
That's
do.
what you're supposed to
That's
do.
what you're supposed to
That's
do.
what you're supposed to use your political power for, to get rid of the bullshit, okay? Because that's bullshit, and we all saw it. But Billy Porter compares the black community relationship with LGBTQ plus community as of the white supremacy. So, D.Jon, take it away from the message.
I would love to start by Billy Porter is a nice looking man. He has some beautiful skin, nice cheekbones. He always serving a look. You know what I'm saying?
Beat for the gods, like they say.
Mm-hmm. So, Pole star Billy Porter is well known for being very outspoken when it comes to the rights and treatment of the LGBTQ plus community, and he just doubled down on his opinions in a major way. In a recent video posted to social media, Billy Porter called out the black community for not adequately supporting the LGBTQ plus community and comparing them to white supremacists. Billy Porter took to his Instagram account to post a video blatantly calling out the black community's lack of acceptance and support of the LGBTQ plus community. Try saying that 3 times behind each other.
I'm not.
And he certainly didn't.
Can't the LGBT
Certainly didn't mince any words in his comments. Billy said the following, and I quote, "My basic human rights have been up for legislation every single day that I have had breath in my body from all sides, and by that I mean that the black community's relationship with the LGBTQ plus community is appalling at best and eerie, similar to that of white supremacists versus black folk. You cannot expect our demands of equality to be met with any real legislative policy and change when y'all turn back and inflict the same kind of hate and oppression on us. The tragic reality here is that black trans as well as gender non-confirming women and men are being killed in the United States by cis black men to such a degree that is nearly the worst emergency for trans women on the planet." Billy Porter ended his statement with some additional fiery words, saying, "To all my homophobic and transphobic brothers and sisters, get your fucking houses in order. We move about our days sucking it up, hiding our pain and terror from the world, trying to make ourselves small so white people and straight people feel comfortable." So, social media seemed to be divided on his comments, as many agreed with his points and didn't think that now was the appropriate time to address division within the black community. So, what is your thoughts?
I think just what that last sentence says, I think there's a time and a place for it, and right now, I know that everybody angry at this point, but right now, it's time for us to be unified and not calling each other out when we were just talking before the show. Like, we can't always, we know there's issues. A lot of people know there's issues. But to compare the black community as far as white supremacy, I don't even think it remotely goes as that far. Yes, it is a fucking problem when all these trans women are getting killed by these men. And we always saying that. New Orleans had, one summer, we had 5 of trans women get killed in a week. And you know what New Orleans did? That one trans, I don't know about the other ones, but remember the Superdome lit the Superdome with her color, her favorite color or something. We was in solidarity with this community. So when you, just like we said with BSimone, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I know that he's frustrated because, everything he said is true. Like, he ain't wrong for how he feeling and saying it, but at this time where our community is being attacked the most, it's always been attacked, not just LGBTQ plus rights, but we've been attacked since the dawn of time. We can't keep saying, oh, I'm hurt, you hurt, we all are hurting. He could have used this time to like saying, because he was in a frustrating, stance. Like, I'm about to call, because that is true. Call it what you call it. Because to see that video of that trans person that got beat up by all them people, I think that's kind of what sparked it all.
That's why he brought it up.
Some circumstances, some people, we don't know their whole background of how stuff starts. We see things and then we react, but then they find out, it was a fender bender, and then he spit in the person's face or something like that.
But I don't necessarily think
not saying about that,
all of those people should jump on him because of that situation.
And I'm not saying that shit. They even took that, but they had people that was trying to break that up and trying to protect that person. But they getting attacked.
Right.
They getting attacked from doing it. So I feel like it's not what you say, it's how you say it, and we can have this time to be the educational time. This is the time to now talk about that, because it is fucking crazy that we got trans friends, or we got people that we know that's trans.
I have a trans
and we scared for them
that is close to my heart, and I would die if something was to happen to them.
Right, and it's like, damn, but...
And she is so in tune to the community. She's an activist. Man,
so now
shout out to my homegirl Mariah. Shout out to my girl.
But now it's just time to use this time, Billy Porter, like everybody else of the community. It's time to educate you. But ignorance, you can't get to ignorance with anger, because that just further fuel the flames. You gotta get them in a more way, and I think we've been doing that over time, because if we didn't really care about, if the black community didn't really care about RuPaul or fucking what's the comedian, the LGBT comedian, I get her name, Flame Monroe, that not Keisha, what's her name, Tiffany Haddish put on her special. We would, back in those times, we didn't see those people coming up. Now we get to see everybody on TV. That's because we're starting to transform into a more united front. We get to see RuPaul Drag Race on TV now, and not
cover girl.
We don't have to worry about it being censored. So we're growing into that, but that frustration needs to go fuel into education. And that's what we do here in the word.
Of course.
What's the word?
Yeah,
John. What's your forward thing? After you didn't hear what I said,
you know what? I understand.
I get it now.
No. I've always gotten it.
Yeah, I know.
But with, I agree, that, it comes at a time where.
Ooh.
Oh, you heard that?
Yeah, the whole what's the word community.
I'm sorry, y'all. That's that Canada Dry ginger ale.
When your mama say, go get you a ginger ale if your stomach hurt, take one of them.
Baby, that was a good one. But we don't need division in a time where all of this is going on. But I do, just like I said, I do feel that it came from a spot in his
He's
heart,
entitled to feel that emotion.
Because of this happened, where we need to be together instead of divided. That's not happening. You know what I'm saying? And then it happened in the very place that Mr. George Floyd lost his life. You know what I'm saying? So it's fucked up, but it's true. Like, we don't need the division, but somebody got to tell these motherfuckers what's up. Because my thing is, you can't scream Black Lives Matter, but you're not meaning it for everyone.
Right.
Everyone. You have black gays. You have black trans women and men. You have black cis women and men. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, you have women, black women and men that don't confirm a gender. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, if you're gonna scream Black Lives Matter, mean it for everybody. And I wish he would have just just say
but like I said, when people come from an angry, not an angry, but when you're upset,
when you're upset, you put it out. Enough is enough. When I was talking to T Cole, shout out to T Cole, she was saying that it's getting to a point where she's about to put motherfuckers in their place because they need to know what's going on. I'm going to put you in your place, but I'm going to educate you. And that's what I feel like people need. We need more of our brothers and sisters. Bitch, I'm about to put you in your place, but then I'm also about to teach you. Just like if I was your parent, your mother, or your father, I'm going to chastise you, but then I'm going to teach you, and I'm going to tell you the reasons why I did it and why you shouldn't be doing this. I'm going to educate you. So my thing is, we need more of that in our community. Rather than being divided, we need to be together. That's the only way we're gonna win this fight, is if we be together. Really be together, because we could say we want to be together, but we still not together. Right, we still not together. So we got to get it together. The subgroups, everybody's just broken up into groups. We need to stop. We're not a united front. We all are still broken up into groups. So you got your home, you got your I couldn't even get it out. You got everybody in different groups.
Everybody.
You got everybody in different groups. For us,
we need to start taking this time. This is our time. 2020 is our time to unite the community, not divide and further say we get it. We hurting. Everybody hurting at this point. But now it's time to stick together and get it together and educate each other on this. They got people that's willing to learn now. So everybody don't have an excuse now. This corona shit got us still inside. So create the avenues, create the open dialogues so that people could have these conversations, you know what I'm saying? So people could be open and you understand. And also, when you hear the negative side and shit that y'all don't agree with, understand that them people come from an equal place of how they feel about a situation. And some people going to still be ignorant. So we're going to say fuck it to them people and keep it moving with the people who want to learn and keep it, because those numbers are going to grow larger than the people, because we see it now. We're now seeing in 2020 that race is it took 2020 for race to actually see that this shit is bad. That sexuality, we seeing that we are stopping people from doing what they want to do, stopping people from loving who we want to love, and we saying this shit is free, but we acting as if it's not. So now we got to take a step back and review all of these hurts and fix all of these open wounds. I told y'all this was like the empire, and it's just growing bigger and bigger. And we just keep sticking in and sticking in. And now we got all these answers and all this shit that we got to fix up. So remember that. You feel me? But before we go any further with the tea, because Biddy Porter just put it out on us right quick. We got another featured artist. Shout out to the East Side again. I feel like, repping the East Side. This one is Ari the Artist featuring JL. What's up, you hear me? And like I said, if you want to be a featured artist,
showing a female artist some love.
Yeah, shout out to the female artists of the East Side, you hear me? But be a featured artist, hit us up, link in the bio at What's the Word on all social sites, or our email at What's the Word 504@gmail.com. And like I said, we're gonna be back, but here's one y'all can vibe with, what's up, you hear me?
I just want to know your name, and I ain't trying to play no game. I just want to get to know you better, so maybe we could get together, yeah. I'm just trying to spark a flame and treat you to the finer things. I won't treat you like a fool. I just want to put my hands on you, babe. So come and pull up on that east side. Bring your friend and I'ma bring mine. Give me a vibe that takes me high, me high, me high. Her soul side, you know we tight, we tight, we tight. I just really wanna know you. Spark a combo, let's be social. Need my assistance, I'ma coach you. Tell me what you've been through, I'll never offend you. I got a heart that I can lend you. It could be yours, no paying rent, boo. She broke your heart, let me fix you. I could be a tissue, take care of your issues. So come and pull up on the east side. If you fuck with me, you spend the night. Tell me the things you do and don't like. Don't be shy, it's fine. I'm tryna learn the ins and outs. I'm tryna know what you're all about. Catch a vibe, later we can get high. I wanna spend more time with you. So come and pull up on that east side. Bring your friend and I'ma bring mine. Give me a vibe that takes me high, me high, me high. If you do the things that I like, treat me right and you'll stay fine. Her soul side, you know we tight, we tight. Won't you come pull up on me, roll up and smoke with me. I know we just friends, will you be my man? I can't pretend that I'm not feeling you. Baby, I'm so into you. Chemistry is just me and you. Pull up on me, roll up and smoke with me. I know we just friends, will you be my man? I can't pretend that I'm not feeling you. Baby, I'm so into you. Chemistry is just me and you. So come and pull up on that east side. Bring your friend and I'ma bring mine. Give me a vibe that takes me high, me high, me high.
Yeah, we back, you heard me. East side, stand up. Pull up on the east side, you heard me. That was What's Up by Ari the Artist featuring JL. Oh, I love that song. I vibed to that song just now. Like, I don't know. I had to pay homage to the east side today. I was feeling like, we needed a little push today with all this current climate that's going on, and why not bless it with some beautiful music from What's the Word featured artist, you hear me? From my city, you hear me? Shout out to Eastside Bay and shout out to Ari the Artist, you hear me? But we're back with more tea from What's the Word, you hear me? And so we're talking about Uncle Snoop. Uncle Snoop said he plans to vote for the first time in 2020. So you mean to tell me, Uncle Snoop, you ain't vote this whole goddamn time?
Tragic.
But take it away.
So, as the saying goes, it's never too late. This also includes hip-hop star Snoop Dogg, who just made an announcement about his plans to vote for the very first time this year after previously shying away due to his criminal history. Oh, so it was a reason. At Billboard reports, Snoop Dogg gave a recent interview with Big Boy's Neighborhood to discuss the senseless murder of Mr. George Floyd, police brutality, the Black Lives Matter protests, and most interestingly, his plans to vote for the very first time. Snoop explained his first-time voting decision this week. So, for many years, Dad had me brainwashed thinking that you couldn't vote because you had a criminal history. I didn't know that my record's been expunged, so now I can vote. I ain't never voted a day in my life, but this year I think I'm gonna get out and vote, cause I can't stand to see this punk in office one more year. He continued adding, I can't talk about it and not be about it. I can't tell you to do it and don't go do it.
Right.
Everybody know I'm a frontliner. I ain't gonna tell you to do something I didn't do. If I tell you to do something, I done it already. You may remember Snoop was convicted for felony drug possession back in 1990 and pleaded guilty to felony gun and drug charges in 2007. He ended the interview by speaking on the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, saying we're dealing with the pandemic too, and I don't think that it's fully going away. People are quick to jump into the streets and not knowing what the full, thing is with that right now. So I just want to let everybody know to be careful and be safe and keep your mask on. Good for Snoop.
Yeah,
Good for Snoop.
I'm glad that he finally found out he could vote. Because that should have been the first thing you found out.
I wouldn't even believe people when they say that. Find out for yourself. You know what I'm saying? He could have been voted.
Right, because we've been needing your vote, bitch. Not calling him. Yeah,
Right,
before. People
don't.
take my word out of context and I be on.
Don't be disrespecting Uncle Snoop like that.
I ain't mean it, but you know what I meant.
Right.
Like, bitch, he could have been voted. If somebody, why nobody ain't tell Unc that he could have been voted?
See, that's why you gotta keep.
That's why you gotta stop smoking that gas all the time and go to vote.
You gotta keep you some
Time is now.
lawyers in your back pocket so they could give you the right seat. You know.
But oh Lord, Lil finally speaks out about the murder of George Floyd and by urging people not to blame all police. What Weezy F baby said.
So, Lil Wayne just publicly spoke out about the senseless murder of Mr. George Floyd at the hands of former Minneapolis police officers. But his comments may surprise you. Lil Wayne urged black people not to place blame for police brutality on all police, specifically white cops, because one saved his life in the past. At Gossip Official reports, during a recent episode of Lil Wayne's Beats One show, Young Money Radio, he detailed his stance on police brutality following the riots and protesting currently occurring across the country. As a response to the heartbreaking death of Mr. George Floyd, as many Lil Wayne fans may already know, when he was 12 years old, he shot himself and says his life was saved by Deputy Robert H. If you're from New Orleans, of course, you know that. A white police officer, and that incident is the reason for his stance on the police. Lil Wayne had this to say about not blaming all cops for incidents of police brutality, and I quote, "My life was saved when I was young, shot myself. My life was saved by a white cop, Uncle Bob. So from therefore, you have to understand the way I view police, period. There was a bunch of black cops that jumped over me by that door with that hole in my chest. He refused to. We have to stop placing the blame on the full force and the whole everybody or a certain race or everybody with a badge." Interestingly, Deputy Robert H. was fired from the force back in 2012 following his repeated tasing of a Louisiana man while calling him racial slurs, including the N-word, during an arrest. Wayne also stated that, "Understand that I go through situations too. We all got our situations. Don't judge no one for no reason. Don't judge, do you. Help out in any way that you can. We can only win it together."
Exactly. But also you gotta remember that, yeah, that's true and all. That's his own personal experience. And like he said, we cannot blame the whole police force because they have plenty of good police officers that do their job right because they love their job.
Right.
New York, the New York police chief had to speak. It was like, damn, y'all never, every time this happened, they never sit down and talk to the police and tell them how they truly feel when this shit happen. Because they have police officers that care. You know, you got, I babysitted for a police officer, and he was a damn good cop. He fucking stopped a bank robbery and all that, and he was a black man.
I know many men and women that serve as police officers for NOPD.
New Orleans got their first black mayor. They had, black female mayor. They have a black police chief. So it's like we getting to see the police relations different. in the whole
absolutely.
world.
They, I agree with him that you can't. Don't place the blame on all of them.
New Orleans is different than all the world. Our police. That's why I say during these protests, our fucking police been help with it since day one. Back in the day, we probably would have had it a whole different. But the police, the relation with the people have changed in this city alone. I don't know about outside. So that's his experience because he's from New Orleans. You can't fault a man from just saying, like, don't take it out on all cops because it ain't all cops. It ain't like everybody go to be a police just to be bad. You know what I'm saying? Some people actually go and do a job and do it well, okay?
Right.
But NFL, before we head out, NFL commissioner admits they were wrong for not listening to players earlier and encouraging the fucking protest. I don't know how they just paying attention to that, but take it away, D.Jon.
So, on Friday, the NFL Commissioner, Roger Goodell, sat down for a video to apologize and acknowledge the league's wrongful doing when it came to not supporting its players as they peacefully protest against racial injustice. In the video, Goodell says, "We, the National Football League, condemn racism and the systematic oppression of black people. We, the National Football League, admit we were wrong for not listening to NFL players earlier and encourage all players to speak out and peacefully protest. We, the National Football League, believe that Black Lives Matter." His response comes after several players participated in the Stronger Together video, where they asked the league to take a stance and own up to their mistakes and show their support as they continue to protest against police brutality and the racial injustice inside of the black communities. Notably, many people were also looking for Goodell to acknowledge and apologize to Colin Kaepernick specifically. Back in 2016, he peacefully protested by kneeling during the national anthem. As many of you know, his peaceful protest cost him his job in the NFL. However, he has continued his fight regardless of the NFL's actions. Colin's girlfriend called out Goodell for still having Colin blackballed when all he did was peacefully protest against the very thing that is heavily impacting the black community: police brutality and racial injustice. According to CNN, Goodell said he would be reaching out to players and those who have been speaking out about the issues to see how we can improve and go forward for a better and more united NFL family. My thing is, you're going to start doing that, you need to start off with Colin Kaepernick. And that's all I got to say about that.
He could get a job at the Saints because our quarterback fucking it up.
But my thing is, you're going to do that, start off with him, because y'all blackballed this dude when all he was doing was peacefully protesting.
And y'all wanted him to stop because y'all said it was wrong.
But now y'all
encourage.
Now y'all encouraging now?
Yeah, that man, all his back pay.
How long he been out?
Well,
So his last season was 2016, 17, 18. Girl, that's for almost 4 years of pay.
And you can join the Saints because our quarterback tripping. So come on and join the Saints because our quarterback is straight up tripping, baby. Because we could use a Colin Kaepernick at this point. I don't know what Drew Brees thought, but we could use him at this point. And New Orleans like using it as an example. They like setting examples to be in the first city to do it all. We took down the monuments. Now we got to change the quarterback. Let's get it popping. But it's crazy that it took this long. It took a man's
Almost
death
4 years
for you to realize
when it was already going on.
Right. And it never stopped.
It never stopped.
Hopefully we grow from this and now you allow them to use their platform to bring forth change. Because they're the largest platform that the world sees. And they have to be.
And that is a slap in the face when, just like you said, I don't know which show it was, but you said majority of the men that play in that's NFL, NBA, they are African American men.
Right. They got to go.
And for you not to stand with them on why they do things like that, that's a slap in the face.
Not only that, just the brutality of human life, period. They just had an ex-football player get shot and killed in an armed robbery. Like, that shouldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And this shit that people should be able to speak on and speak their truth so we can bring forth change. And they're the largest entity that the world sees. But it's been an awesome show. I hope you enjoyed it. You can follow me at Kiss Calhoun, all social sites. And without further ado, D.Jon, where can find you?
Instagram at _D.Jon. That's an N, no H. And on Twitter, _D.Jon.
That's an N, no H. But I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Like I said, if you want to be a featured artist, shoot over and follow us on all social sites at Yo What's the Word, or shoot us an email at what's the word 504@gmail.com. And as always, we out of here.
Peace and love.